Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today's video, we have two brilliant tank destroyers, two tier 10 tank destroyers that are just absolutely fantastic. Now, first up, we have the Object 268. I do apologize if you hear some noise in the background of the channel. Of course, I'm at work, so you might get a little bit of noise in the background. I do apologize, but we're going to look at the Object 268 version 4, and we're going to have a look at the Badger. Which one is better? Which one is better? Because both of them are very, very good. Now, why are we having a look at these two tanks in particular? Well, that is because both of them have come for sale. So you are able to go to stores, go to the store and purchase these two tanks. So one of them is 27.5k gold or 22.5k gold on its own, and one of them is 20k gold on its own. So not much price difference. Of course, the Object 268 version 4 is going to be a little bit more expensive because it is the newer tank out of the two, and it's a tank that doesn't often come for sale. However, the Badger does come for sale for quite a lot, and with the Badger you can get it for 20k gold with the attachment and with the camouflage, but whereas the Object 268 you just get the Object 268. Of course, if you wanted to pay the higher amount, 27.5k gold, you can get the camo and you can get 5 crates as well. So which one's better? I mean, this was a very difficult choice for me, because if you've been around the channel for a long time, you would all know that I absolutely adore the Object 268. The armor profile, I mean, it's got 260 mil of frontal armor. Very, 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 very troll. It's only really troll if you're facing directly at the enemy. Like, you have to face directly. As soon as you start to turn and angle your side of the turrets, your turret becomes a lot easier to penetrate. So the aim of this tank is to face the enemy at all times. It had the higher alpha gun. So you've got the 690 alpha, whereas the Badger is not the higher alpha, but it has the DPM. But we'll get to the Badger as soon as we've looked at this tank. So the DPM on this is 2,722. Now, I am running it with calibrated shells, because I just think it does need that calibrated shells. I mean, 363 heat pen with calibrated shells, you will get through most things. Not everything, but you'll get through most things. So 278 on your standard AP. So as I've said, you've got 690 on your AP, 600 on your heat, and 800 on your HE. Aim time is 4.0, and the dispersion is 0.407. You've got only 5 degrees of gun depression, so you haven't got a lot of gun depression, and ultimately that is where these two tanks really don't compare with each other, and you can have a lot more fun driving the Badger than you can with the Object 268. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the Object 268. It had the speed 38 kilometers an hour. So but for me, I just think now the Badger is a lot more fun to play. I'm not saying the Badger's better. I'm just saying it is a lot more fun to play. It used to be one of the worst tanks not so long ago, but Wargaming buffed it, and now they have made it really, really strong. The armor is 215 on your hull. Again, just like the Object, it's very, very troll. And if you're in a hold down position, you can actually bounce just about anything. If you a face hugging something like an E100, good luck to that E100, because it will struggle to penetrate you. The DPM is a lot higher on this. I mean, almost 1,000 higher on this tank. So you're looking at 3,856. Now, I'm not running it with calibrated shells. You could run it with calibrated shells. I just think, I mean, the pen is almost the same on this than it is the Object 268 version 4, but this isn't running with calibrated shell. This is just standard. So I don't think you need to run it with the calibrated shells, if I'm honest. I think it has enough pen. This tank is more about DPM. So the DPM on this tank is fantastic. I do apologise if this just sounded a bit weird. Someone come into my office, I had to pause. I was speaking for about half an hour, so I completely forgot where I was, and I just had to pause the video. So let's just start with the DPM. So 3,856, over 1,000 or just about 1,000 DPM different than the Object 268. Reload time is just 7.16. The standard AP pen, which we've already spoke about this, so it's really good. The standard pen is really good. The APCR pen is really good, and ultimately I don't run the rammer because it's APCR. I think if we had heat, I would probably maybe run the rammer, but this tank is all about that DPM. So you've got a 460 alpha gun, so the alpha is a lot less than the Object, but DPM is paramount in this tank. 390 on your APCR and 550 on your HE. Aim time, I mean, it's not bad at 3.6, and the dispersion also is not bad at 0.317. And it has a very, very nice 10 degrees of gun depression. So, I mean, I tried playing the tank. They're not easy. You sit there and think, yeah, these tanks are easy, especially tanks like the Object 268 version 4, because it used to be so strong. Like, it used to be really, really, really strong back in the day. No one knew how to deal with it. Nobody at all knew how to deal with this tank. So you could just drive forward. Like I said at the start, if you just drove forward, then people couldn't pen you. As soon as you started angling, that's when you were sort of people was penning you a lot easier. So even now, new people, of course, are not going to deal with you, and the tanks now are not as fun as they were. Especially this tank, because over time people do learn how to deal with the tank. We've had it with a lot of tanks, you know, the Concept 1B, other tanks out there that I can't think of off the top of my head. When these tanks first in the game, people are like, this tank's broken. But over the next couple of months, like, people learn how to deal with these tanks. They learn where the weak points are. They learn that bit might be a bit of spaced armor, etc. People learn how to deal with these tanks. So it doesn't mean that they're not as good. They're still brilliant tanks, but they're not as good as they once were because people learn how to deal with them. And that's ultimately the difference from what the tanks are now. They haven't been nerfed or anything like that. It's just overall people learn how to deal with them. And that is the end thing. Like, it's not like it's been nerfed and it's a shit tank. It's people, you drive it, and even now I'm driving, I'm like, what? Why are they not bounced? Like, why haven't I bounced these guys? I should be bouncing. But yeah, it's just people learn, and ultimately that is what we want people to do. We want people to learn the game, so which is good for the newer players. But yeah, for people like me or people that used to love driving these tanks, they're not as good as they once were. So Object 268 version 4, absolutely fantastic tank. Still, of course, it's not as fun as it once was, but it is still an absolutely brilliant tank. Now, as for the Badger is, it's so good. Like, DPM, absolutely amazing. Like, it really is. The DPM really is amazing. 3,800. That is one of the highest in tier 10. Like, it's not the highest, but it is one of the highest in tier 10. Now, with this tank, obviously, this game I actually have a few troll bounces, like on the enemy Progetto there from the side. Like, come on, how was that not a pen? I hit his side, but yet it was still a freaking bounce. The armor, again, the armor is brilliant on this tank, and unlike the Object, if you start angling, it doesn't become as weak. Obviously, your lower plate is very, very weak, but if you can hold down, if you can go hold down, or if you can't go hold down, then I would try to recommend face hug, because this is a very difficult pen when you're face hugging. So do try it, because you can get quite a bit of bounces. So here I'm just going to go and chase this VK, and as you can see, like, even at an angle there, we managed to get that bounce. Now I'm trying to angle myself with the yo, because I can see the yo there, and I don't want to turn to the side, because then he will be able to penetrate me. And again, as you can see there, we do manage to get the bounce, and because of the the DPM on this, we was able to shoot that VK twice before he reloaded and was able to shoot us, which we would almost be dead at this point, and it'd be a 3 versus 2. That Yo, I have no idea what he's doing. He's full hit points. He can come and destroy us all right now. But no, he doesn't want to, which means that we are going to win on supremacy points. So both tanks absolutely fantastic. Is it worth the price? I mean, yes, I would actually say both of them are worth that price in gold. But overall, I do prefer the Badger. I don't think the Badger's a so much better tank. I just think it is a lot more fun to play the Badger now with that DPM and of course the gun depression to go with that. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I am meadsy69 and I will catch you all soon. Tell me in the comments which one of these tanks would you prefer or would you want to buy, and if you own them both, what one do you prefer to play? Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy and I'll catch you all soon.